What's going on, guys? So we're back yet again. We're going to be doing another movie review on a movie I think a lot of us grew up watching when we were kids called Under Wraps. The original Under Wraps. The good Under Wraps. Because this came out in 97. So the entirety of this film is around young kids who are friends between Marshall, Amy, and Gilbert who or they have school, they're just living their lives, right? But then when it gets close to Halloween, they start investigating the mysterious neighbor of Marshall, or I believe it was Marshall, or it was Gilbert, who had a very mysterious neighbor. He was getting random stuff, Mr. Kubat. And what's really strange is he gets this mysterious sarcophagus, and when they start messing with it, it opens up and the moonlight comes through and it awakens the mommy, and they name it Harold because at first they think, you know um oh my gosh, it's gonna eat us or it's gonna do something. And unfortunately it didn't, because it's trying to hurry up and do whatever. It's a very funny movie. I mean, again, one of the first scenes that I absolutely loved, which was hilarious, was they were trying to run away from this monster essentially. And the mommy Harold, he goes into the bathroom and all you hear is him peeing, and then like you see Gilbert going, dang, that mommy had to go. Because I mean, it was hilarious. I mean, and then like dress him up, so he can act like whatever in public. And then you also see where like him trying to get food, or him staying with Marshall and how bad he stinks, and trying to put cologne and all this other stuff on him, and then learning about how he they're like, oh my gosh, I got to get him, back to the sarcophagus in however long, because again, he's going to, uh, you know, pass if we don't get him back to his sarcophagus by the end of the day. And when he does, they go through everything, and Marshall gets close. He looks at Harold like a substitute father in a way, because his father walked out on him and his mother, and he needs someone. And when he starts really becoming close with Harold, and at the very tail end, after them having to fight to protect Harold because Mr. Kubat and his men, they're pretty much black market dealers, and they want the mommy back because of how much money that he will gain them essentially. And when this happens, Harold pretty much takes it upon himself so he can protect them. And he kind of, like I said, he becomes the father of the group. He pretty much, yes, he's older. Yes, he's a monster. Yes, he's undead. But he becomes like the friend father of the group, learning about this new world and learning how to act, I would say, and Marshall being the horror expert in this, and then Amy being, the tomboy of the group, and Gilbert being kind of the, shy slash, stingy kid that's always doing whatever. But, you know, again, at the very end though, it is very emotional when they're finally able to go through everything, and Harold gives Marshall something to say, hey, it's okay, I'll always be with you, type bit. And he's able to meet the woman that he was with, who was the princess or the queen. And they realized that he was in love with her and she was in love with him when they were alive during their time. And they're able to be reconnected for a moment. And then they have to be put back to sleep. And when that happens, Marshall, I would say, takes the hit the worst, of losing Harold, but he does, I would say, improve a lot as a character. He gives his mom's boyfriend a chance. He becomes more sociable with other people and more with his friends. And him and Amy may develop a relationship at the very end. So again, It's a very interesting, fun, family, kid friendly movie. There's a lot of funny moments in this movie, like I said, when he's trying to walk and they got him dressed like Dennis Rodman, which is hilarious. Or, him going to the party and, with the one dressed like Cleopatra, and then she, reveals all his, uh, his bandages, and he just smiles, and she's like, ah, so it's really funny. Again, like I've said before in my last Disney Halloween movie, I miss movies like this. I do. I miss movies like this when you could just sit back and have fun. You could grab a drink, you could grab a snack, and just have fun and watch a movie and not have to worry about an agenda. You didn't have to worry about, this or that being in the film. Just a good movie, good story, good characters, and funny moments. When Disney, I would say, was at their peak. And I miss times like that. But again, who knows if it's ever going to get back to that. But what do you guys think about this film? You guys remember this film? If you do, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about this film down in the comments. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you as always on the next one.